Hi, guys. We are your hosts, Lori.
And Shenisse, certified spiritual life coaches. We're so glad you're here. Welcome to the Unconscious Day series, a series here on Branching In where we talk about unconscious days.
Yeah, and we'd also love it, guys, if you just take a moment to like and subscribe. It would mean so much to us to have your support as we continue to spread more self awareness. All right, so Shanice, this is part 3 of the Unconscious Day series. And today we are going to talk about when you're more loyal to the pattern than the vision. So, my question is, Shanice, what if the reason sometimes we feel stuck isn't because you don't know what to do next, but it's because your subconscious mind has been programmed to repeat old survival patterns?
Oh, that is a great question, Lori. That's a really deep one.
Yeah. So can you, Shanice, think of a time like you wanted change, but you felt like your thoughts and emotions kept pulling you back into familiar territory?
Well, to be honest, when I started doing the inner work, that entire first year, I felt like that was my life where I'm attempting to change all of these limiting patterns, but my thoughts and emotions kept pulling me back into what was familiar, into what I was comfortable with, into what I knew. I mean, that I still go through that where I'm maybe attempting change in a specific area of my life and my thoughts and emotions are pulling me back into familiar territory. So that's so normal. It happens to anyone who's attempting any sort of change in their life. And you work through it. It's there for a reason. And the more you sit with your emotions and let them say what they need to say, the more you're able to make small micro changes.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Shanice. I felt the same way, but I think this is another reason why we created this episode today is having this awareness of what exactly our subconscious mind is, knowing that becoming aware of this feeling that we're feeling and being pulled back to this familiar territory because I as well, tend to go back to that and then I know though, oh, well, that's my subconscious a program that's running that familiar, not necessarily what I want it to be, but it's familiar.
Yeah.
So I find that having just that awareness is hugely helpful, even though you still might kind of, tip into that a little bit every now and then, but just creating the awareness what's going on and why.
Yes, exactly. That makes all the difference and it really helps because it can be frustrating and confusing and it's like, why? I'm trying so hard and I
Yeah,
really want this change. Why do I keep getting pulled back? It can be extremely frustrating. But yes, that awareness helps you to see what's going on and just to keep moving forward.
exactly, exactly. So what does it mean to be unconsciously loyal to the pattern? And I think what we're saying here is that we're talking unconsciously. We might be loyal to the pattern, but it's very unconscious.
Yes. No, we're not purposefully being loyal to the pattern. We're attempting to change a pattern. It's not a conscious effort. It's completely happening unconsciously.
Exactly. So let's start by defining what a pattern is. And in this context, it's learned emotional and behavioral loops that your subconscious sees as safe, even if they're painful.
Yes, that's it exactly. That's it exactly. That's all it is your subconscious is seeing this pattern as safe. And so it's like, oh, we're going to stay here. You're safe. I'm doing my job. I'm keeping you safe. So we're staying here. But like the definition said, they are painful. So it
Yeah.
is something that we have to kind of retrain our subconscious mind to let go.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is happening in the subconscious mind, but there are two minds, the conscious and subconscious mind. So let's break that down, what each of these are, so we can further understand the two aspects of our mental processing that work together in shaping our reality.
Yes. So let's start with the conscious mind.
Okay.
So the conscious mind is the thinking, reasoning, and decision making part of your mind. It analyzes information, judges situations, and makes choices. This part of you is aware of the present moment and interacts with the world through your senses. So your sight, your smell, sound, touch, and taste. It is also entirely in charge of programming your subconscious mind.
Wow. Big
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah. Let's go into the subconscious mind, Lori. Would you
All
like to
right.
talk about
Yeah,
that?
so the subconscious mind, your subconscious mind is like a vast storage system and automatic response mechanism. It does not analyze or question. It just simply accepts and stores whatever your conscious mind repeatedly thinks, believes, or experiences, whether it's positive or negative. It does not matter. It's just, going to program that in. The
Yeah.
subconscious then uses this programming to shape your habits, behaviors, emotions, and even your physical reality. So it ensures that your actions align with your self concept and past conditioning, turning them into your lived experience.
Wow. That's so telling.
Right.
And how they work together. So the conscious mind is the gatekeeper of your reality. It sets the instructions and your subconscious mind carries them out. So when your subconscious mind is programmed with wisdom and knowledge, it solidifies these qualities, reinforcing them in your mind and body. However, if your subconscious mind is programmed with fear and negativity, it will accept these as truth and become a mental barrier that traps you in limitation and suffering.
Yeah. Yeah. So that brings us right full circle back to this subconscious loyalty. So, Shanice, subconscious loyalty is what your system prioritizes what feels familiar over what feels aligned because familiar feels safe, even if it's sabotaging your vision. So, like to put this all in perspective for me, I love the analogy when I think of the conscious and the subconscious mind. I think of a computer and a computer programmer. So the conscious mind, that's the computer programmer. That's me. I am the creator. I am the one inputting all the information into my computer. And the computer is my subconscious mind. So, like my computer, it does not analyze and rationalize and question anything. And I'm typing in my computer. It does nothing. It's just taking all that information I give it and storing it in this vessel, this computer, it's storing all of it. And I, being the conscious mind, have the ability to reason and think and input what I want my outcome to be. I'm inputting, my output is what the computer is going to show me then, that subconscious mind. And I think that really helps me understand this better when I break down the conscious mind, which we just went over, and the subconscious mind is putting it in that way so I can absorb really what this means.
Yeah. And let's go into that because that's really important. So we just, gave a whole bunch of information on the conscious and subconscious mind, but what does that mean? So, like you just said, Lori, by the way, I love that example, the computer programmer and the computer. That does make it easier to understand. So I want you guys to ask yourselves, like, so now that you understand the subconscious mind is basically just a vast storage system. Go back into your life. Look at your childhood, your teenage years, your young adulthood. What has been input into your subconscious mind? Because, like we just finished saying, the conscious mind is the one thinking and reasoning and analyzing. The subconscious mind just takes all of that in. So, what has your environment? How has that affected what's been input into your subconscious mind? And
Yeah.
that's really important to understand and to take a look at because your subconscious mind is running those programs. And so if you really want to understand, your life, your choices, your habits, your behavior, take a look at what is in your subconscious mind. That will be the biggest clue into the why of it all and then how you can make different choices. But you can't until you know what's in there and what's being run.
Yeah. And but the cool part is you can make the changes because you are the creator. You are the programmer. So you have that ability, which is awesome too.
Yes, power is in your hands.
Yes, both ways. And I love that like Joe Dispenza says, when facing a challenging situation, if you're operating from the same level of mind that created the challenge, you're likely in an unconscious state. Like, wow, that
Yeah.
makes so much sense again after understanding this conscious and subconscious mind.
Yes. Yeah, an example of that would be like staying in a job or a relationship you hate because the anxiety of uncertainty uncertainty feels worse than the daily burnout.
Yeah, and I can definitely relate to that, Janice. I have stayed in relationships because of that uncertainty feels worse than just going through, the other pain that I was dealing with.
Yeah.
So I that very relatable.
Yes. Yes, same. I have definitely stayed in things because I was terrified of the uncertainty, of the unknown, of what it would look like to try something different. What's that saying? Like, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. That was how
Right.
I lived my life for most
Right.
of my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And that makes sense why again we were unconsciously loyal to the pattern versus the vision.
Yes. So, how do we become more loyal to our vision than to our limiting patterns? Let's get
Well,
into that, Lori.
yeah, yeah, great question, Shanice, because that's obviously where we want to head to and pivot to.
Yeah.
So, and we've talked about in other episodes on our podcast about our emotions and using our emotions as messengers. The thinking mind, rationalizes and the body reacts.
Exactly, exactly. The body will always tell you, always come back to your body because your body will tell you. Your mind will go round and round, but your body will tell you. Your emotions will tell you whether you're in a vision state, so expansive, curious, energized, or a pattern state, contracted, guarded, or on autopilot.
Yeah, definitely. And these signals often arrive before the conscious thought. They're subconscious pattern alarms.
Oh my God, I love that. I really do love that
Yeah,
because it
me
is
too.
so helpful to understand that. So, those emotions, that message is a subconscious pattern alarm. That's wonderful to
We
know
have a
that.
built-in alarm system going off.
Yes. Yes, that's awesome. So then we don't have to be afraid of that alarm system. That alarm system
It's for us.
is for us. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I know more than being scared of it, welcoming it like, "Oh my gosh, hello, wake me up." Another way as well, Shanice, is unlearning. So we talk about this a lot. Unlearning is the process of shedding old beliefs and habits and conditioned ways of thinking that no longer serve us. Unlike learning, which requires adding new knowledge, unlearning is about stripping away what is misaligned with our true selves.
Yes. Unlearning is so important, and it is such a great way to become more loyal to the vision because, again, like we were saying, it's in your subconscious mind. And so, unlearning is such a powerful tool to begin. Like, once you realize, here's this pattern in my subconscious mind, I don't want this pattern anymore, right? And so how do you not have it in your subconscious mind anymore? You unlearn it. Unlearning is that tool, it's that key. And so once you identify what no longer serves, the next challenge is confronting it. And this requires curiosity, openness, and a willingness to embrace discomfort, which I know, we know it's not easy. It's terrible. It feels terrible. I don't like it, but it's part of that. And many of our long held beliefs provide a sense of security. So letting them go can again feel unsettling.
Yeah, definitely. And I know you and I talked about this, Shanice, that's belief number one to program is being comfortable with the uncomfortable. You
Yes.
know, it's so necessary. I know for myself, and I've talked about this with you, it's like still have to remind myself of that. And I do have that programmed. I do have that program to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. But there's still sometimes a little reflex that's like, oh, it's uncomfortable. Go, go, run. And then I'm like, no, no, come back here, stay here. It's fine. This too shall pass. And just sit in it and just sit in it. And
Mhm.
that has gotten me so far by just really emotionalizing that belief and staying
Yeah.
with it.
And, like you just said, Lori, you have programmed to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and yet you still find yourself in these uncomfortable moments. And so I just want to touch on that real quick because that's so normal. And I know so many people will be like, oh, what is wrong with me? I thought I took care of that. I thought I unlearned that. And I reprogrammed this empowered belief. Like, why am I still uncomfortable? And I want everyone to know, like, it's not linear. It's really not. It's not like, "Oh, I did this here and now I'm over here, so why am I still" No, no, no. It's a spiral. And so you might learn something here and then be like, "Oh, okay, great, you learned it." But then as you travel down, you might, you'll come at it again, but this time you'll learn it in a deeper way. You'll see something about it that you didn't see before. And so
Mhm.
then you kind of go along a way and you're going down, you touch on it again. But it's for you. I can't say that enough. It's for you. And so now you're giving an opportunity to learn it at an even deeper level. And so whenever you come across something that you believed, "Oh, I healed that," or "I unlearned that," or "I already reprogrammed that," it's okay because the universe is giving you an opportunity to learn it even deeper. And so in that sense, it is serving you.
And if you have learned it, it should be okay then. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So there might be a piece of you that hasn't fully you might have learned it, but not fully accepted it.
Mhm.
That's why you're kind of still having a little bit of a trigger. And again, like when I get triggered with that, it's not the intensity and the frequency of that is obviously a lot less. I mean, that doesn't happen often. And when it does, it's not that intense, but it might still be a little edge to it there. And then it's a good clue for me to go in, what area that I still am kind of working with or, accepting. Because to
Yeah.
me, it's unlearning and then really fully embracing and then accepting that and really surrendering to that. So it's a process.
Yes, exactly.
But as long as I know my core knows that belief that we're talking about right now to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, and I have that has me, the programmer, has programmed that into my computer, into my subconscious mind, that I need to be comfortable with the uncomfortable and to sit with that. It's okay. It's okay. Go be comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it really is. That is in my program. But I might have to, come back to it every now and then. And like you said, perfect, Shanice. You go a little deeper with that each
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
Don't come fully out of it. You just go a little deeper or explore areas that you haven't fully accepted, which is deeper.
Exactly. And so basically, it just embrace it. Whatever comes, embrace it. It's for you. It's to help you. It's to serve you. So always embrace whatever comes in.
Exactly.
So, what are some approaches that we can bring to the unlearning process?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good question, Shanice. So, first off, want to put just being willing to unlearn and change. I mean, nothing will happen without this. Nothing. So, and nobody can pressure you to do so. This is all about us. So, this is for us. This is about us. So, willingness involves an acceptance that something might need to shift. And at times, unlearning has to happen to start here first. So just be willing. That's the step one. Be willing to unlearn and change.
And another step is step out of the familiar, out of what you're comfortable with and what you know. So like your social group, social media, your go-to books, movie series, those are likely to reinforce what you already think. So
Yeah.
actively seek another voice, other ideas, other circles to kind of help you take in new information. That'll be really helpful to the unlearning process.
Yeah. Yeah. Changing your place and your patterns is huge. I know for me, when I change up, go a different route, even just the smallest things, drive a different way. I do see different things. I do look at things a little different. It does help changing things up.
Yes, yes, it really is. Because you don't realize it, but you can get stuck in your habits and your routines and the mundane day to day. So switching things up is like just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. And you know what, Shanice, that helps me too, makes me think of when I don't switch things up, I am fully on autopilot, like completely, who's driving this car? I'm on such autopilot. And so by switching it up, I come back to me, oh, this is different. I get off that autopilot.
Yeah, it brings you back to the present moment.
Yes.
When you're in unfamiliar territory, you can't be on autopilot. Your body is paying attention, your mind is, it's really such a great way to plug you into the present moment.
Yeah. It's exciting all over again, too. It wakes you
Yeah.
up, right?
Yeah. Yes, love that. Okay, so we went through unlearning. So, what's another way that we can be more loyal to our vision? than to our limiting patterns. And that is reprogramming our subconscious mind.
Yes, exactly. So, programming in the context of the mind refers to the process of installing and reinforcing beliefs that shape our perception and behavior. Like, just as a computer runs based on the code it has been programmed with, which we've been talking about,
Yeah.
our subconscious mind operates according to the beliefs and experiences that have been repeatedly reinforced over time.
Yes, yes. For example, like one belief that I had that my subconscious mind was kind of operating on was life is more meaningful during big moments, major moments like going on vacation, holidays, just like the really exciting moments that you don't really get to experience every day. I was constantly chasing that. And I felt like when I didn't have those, my life wasn't as meaningful. Whereas now, I live for these small moments, the smallest of moments. I realized through this practice of really just appreciating every small moment of my life that has helped me appreciate the big moments even more. Because when you can be fully present with those small, mundane, nothing moments and like be so grateful for them, you can be that much more plugged in and present and grateful when the big moments happen.
And the bigger moments become bigger.
Yes.
Because you made the smaller moments, mattered so much. So you have so much gratitude and appreciation because you sat in those little moments that big moment is like, "Oh my gosh, I am so even more grateful for
Yeah.
this holiday or this big vacation or whatever it is that's in the big moments that's happening for you."
Exactly, exactly, to the point sometimes where I'm like, "Can my heart take all this love and gratitude? I don't know."
I love that. I love that. And Shani, programming your subconscious mind requires patience, so much patience and consistency. It's very, being consistent and patient. While some shifts may happen, more quickly, lasting transformation usually takes time as new beliefs gradually take root. I mean, we were working one way for a while, so it's normal that it's going to take a little bit for just accepting, you know what I mean? And for me, like I talked about earlier, is what helps me take root with that belief is accepting it, fully embracing and accepting that.
Yes, and keyword on the gradually, like, it's going to take time. There's no rushing it, like, you have been operating from the programs in your subconscious mind for a really long time, most of your life, so when you start creating awareness and you start unlearning and reprogramming your subconscious mind, yes, please be so patient with yourself, and, we live in that era of time where everyone's always in a hurry and instant gratification, but this just doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And it's good that it takes time. It's good for your nervous system because it's easing your nervous system into a new way of being. You wouldn't want to go from one day to the next with all of these drastic changes. We think we do, but we don't.
Very startling. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So it's good that it takes time and that you're slowly easing into it and slowly becoming something new. Yeah.
exactly.
And over time, as these new beliefs become deeply ingrained, you'll start to notice shifts in your thoughts, emotions, and actions, which will naturally fuel your motivation to keep going.
Yeah, exactly. And Shanice, really to further understand how unlearning works, our belief workbook that we created is a great tool that breaks down unlearning in a step by step process. And we also designed the Badass Belief book that you can pair with to learn how to program your subconscious mind. And I have that here, Shanice.
Oh, yay! Let's
Our
see
belief
it.
workbook.
I love our book. It's so beautiful.
It's awesome. And then the Badass Belief book is just this little book that you can carry. It's like to me, it's like my little diary. Put it in my purse. And this is where everything that I want to operate is stored in. And as a reminder, I can take a look at that, what I have programmed in here.
Yes, I love it. I use it all the time. I love my Badass Belief book. And anytime I'm having a moment where I'm reprogramming something new into my subconscious mind, it's just so easy to pick it up and remind myself, okay, yeah, this is what I believe now. And, I find myself slipping back into that limiting belief, as we said, is normal. So it's such a great tool. I
It
do
it's
love it.
it's like when we talk about journaling, how that's such a great tool, it's just like that. It's having the journal, but you've already used the workbook to come up with what you want your belief to be, and then you have a place to put the new belief. So, I love that too, Shanice. I mean, I absolutely love that I can have that with me wherever I go.
Yes, I know, same. And you know what, Lori, this just came to me. I'm like, maybe one day I'll share one of my new beliefs with our listeners.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah, that
awesome.
would be cool. I'll
Yeah,
think about it.
awesome. Look forward to that, Shanice. All right. So, Shanice, to wrap up this episode, we have brought awareness to why we've been unconsciously loyal, unconsciously, keyword, loyal to our limiting patterns. And we broke down how to switch our loyalty to our vision, what we really desire through unlearning and reprogramming.
Yes, this has been such a great episode, so informative. And if you'd like to learn more about us or check out our products and services, click the link in the description. And that's it for this episode. If this episode spoke to you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone that you think would benefit from it. Thank you guys for listening to Branching In with Shanice.
And Lori, join us for our next episode. We post every Friday. See you guys then. Bye.